you, Steve?
I'm good, John. How are you?
All right, and hello, everybody. Welcome to Art This number 5. Well, RC and the Nightshades are coming in, but first, tell us a little bit about this video package where you traveled out into the wilds of eastern Kentucky.
I did. You know, we've always featured great artists here on Art This, but this artist, this week's edition of the feature was probably the most fun I've had in a while, because literally I got to go to a Dairy Queen in Olive Hill, Kentucky, and feature Kendrick Holbrook, who is a cake artist, pencil artist, and watercolorist. Let's take a look.
I never decorated a cake before I came here. The cakes was kind of a surprise because that just kind of came with the job. I graduated with a Bachelor's of Art, and I couldn't find any place to work for a long time. And I was lucky to get a job out here. And it wasn't no time after they found out that I had an art degree that they're like, go work on cakes. I'm Kendrick Holbrook.
You're from?
I'm from Elliott County, yep. I grew up in Olive Hill, Elliott County border there on Bear Ridge Road. I'm still there, can't get out. I went to school at Elliott County High School. I graduated in 2004, and then went from there, went to Morehead State, stayed in school for 6 years, and finally graduated there with a Bachelor's of Art in P through 12 Art Education. Yeah, I've just kind of been naturally inclined towards art, I guess, and I think my earliest memory of actually getting art, I remember I was still in diapers. I remember that. My parents were at the Dollar General or somewhere, and I cried after one of those really cheap, thin, skinny tip markers, and just like the off-brand ones, and they bought it for me. And the first thing I did as soon as I went home, they laid me on the floor, and I had paper, and I was scribbling, and I got tired of my paper because it wasn't big enough, and so I drew what I called cartoon ghosts all over my mom and dad's bedroom door. Little teardrop shapes with little smiley faces on them. And I was only like 2. I couldn't believe I could draw like that.
First cake you ever made, was it a success?
Yes, it was actually a birthday cake I did for my brother. I have a picture of it at the house. And it was, he wanted a cake of a cartoon ghost. And my brother was like 18 at the time. and it was in April, and so yeah, that was my first cake. And I was very happy with it. And after that, they're like, work on cakes. We make all of our colors here. We don't have any just icings bagged up or anything. And then since we do a lot of requests for people, you never know what somebody's gonna ask for. I think the coolest thing I've had anybody ask to do was a family asked for a Bloody Brains cake. And that was probably one of the funnest cakes I've ever had to make here.
Is that for Halloween?
No, it was just for somebody's birthday. They just really liked the macabre, so they wanted a Bloody Brains cake.
Did you sketch out an idea for that, or just?
I just usually just look off of Google real fast or something and just get an idea, and then I just kind of got to go with it. I just always really like just drawing animals, I guess. I don't know. We live in the middle of the woods. I guess you draw what you know, and that's what I know. And that kind of kept with me with college, and I started doing these kind of weird little, I guess they weren't really weird to me. It was almost like totem kinds of things. I kind of associate guardian figures with certain animals for specific things, and I kind of started doing that more. And then I kind of started doing, while I was doing that, I was doing portraiture kind of stuff too. I'm still kind of learning on how to do that. I'm not the best portraitist. And then I kind of started combining the two together. It kind of just happened so naturally. I was doing them both already at the same time, and so I really like to combine human imagery with animal imagery together. And that's just what I like to do. It's really cool whenever people request your name, and I'm like, all right, and I wouldn't even know who the people are, or they just call me the boy with the long hair. The boy with the long hair? Can the boy with the long hair make this cake? I used to hide in all these weird little places, under beds, in the farthest corner of a closet I can get to, and draw on the walls. Or we had this shoe closet I could squeeze into when I was little, about yay big. And I would draw all over the place, because nobody else went there. So it was my own little private places I could draw whatever I wanted to, and nobody would know it, even though everybody really knew what I was doing. Art is so inclusive. even if you can't do a certain thing. It's like a lot of people are like, oh, I couldn't even draw a stick figure. Well, I'm like, if you can draw a stick figure, just draw stick figures, you know, make them the best stick figures that you can, you know, just do whatever. As long as you're making something, that's awesome. Be it writing books, telling stories, writing songs, playing music, building cabinets, whatever you can do, just do it. I just want to keep improving. That's one of the things. I'm very hard on myself. If I don't think I'm doing better, I'm like, I need to keep practicing, you know. So hopefully I'll be like growing up, you're always like, oh, I wish I could do something as good as so-and-so. And I'm always like, I think I'm always going to be that way. It doesn't matter if I'm 100 years old. I'll be like, I really hope I can be as good as this person, you know. So as long as I think I try to be the best as I can at this point in time when I'm working on something. And then the next thing I do, hopefully I'll be a little bit better. Like when I was in student, I would do like student shows, and they'd have like, they'd always let you know like, oh, so-and-so is having like a student show, try to exhibit. A cave run a couple of times. I never really, it takes kind of like a lot of time to, it's almost like a full job in itself to like search places and they're called to artists and things like that. And if I didn't work as much here, I'd probably go out and look for more opportunities like that, because I think I would like to have other people see my stuff. A lot of people do Etsy nowadays. I've considered it. I'm still debating maybe having like an Etsy and selling like prints or something. I don't know. I like the idea of like making something that I really like, but then making like a lot of copies of it. And I tried printmaking and I'm not the best at it. And it's a lot of hard work, and with my joints, it's like really rough. And so it's almost like I like how we have digital stuff now, so you can make copies of stuff. And I like the idea of like people, all kinds of people. I guess that kind of stems from Appalachian too, like culture. Like a lot of people think that art's just for the elite, but I like the idea of everybody being able to afford it. Like, so I like to try to sell like prints for like $2 or something, you know, like really cheap somewhere.
Beautiful. Man, that was really nice, Steve.
Yeah, great feature there on Kendrick. Of course, he said there in the piece that he makes his own colors and cake icings, but he's not just pinned to the cakes, as you saw there. He's a brilliant pencil artist, watercolorist, and he asked me to share with you, if anyone would like a cake designed by him, to call the local Dairy Queen in Olive Hill, Kentucky, and make your way down there and say hello. Also, check out his Facebook page, facebook.com/Appalachian Alternative Art.
Outstanding. Good work, Steve. We've invited students to submit 1-minute features that they produce. Band art feature would be called BART, and a natural art feature would be called NART, and of course, art made with the telephone would be called FART, P-H-A-R-T, and I'm sorry about that, but our first fartist presented herself this week.
That's right.
Carla Stepp sent us some beautiful photographs that she took with her phone. And so, here it is, phone art on Art This. Welcome back to Art This, everybody. Hey, what happens when you mix 3 musicians with about a couple of centuries of musical experience into one great blues band? Well, you get satisfied audiences and fantastic jams wherever they play. We'll talk with band leader Ron Crowder after their first song and get introductions to find out how the band makes this sausage they call music. But right now, let's get busy and put our hands together for R.C. and the Nightshades.
back to the blues.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with Art This, show number 5. We have R.C. and the Nightshades on stage with us. Ron, it's a pleasure to meet you, Ron Crowder.
Here, John.
Would you introduce your colleagues to us?
Sure. We have Skeets Pennington on the horns.
Let's hear it for Skeets. Yeah, good.
Dr. Jay Flippin on keyboards.
All right, Jay, thank you so much. Well, we've got a lot of experience up here, and one of the things we like to do on Art This, instead of asking the, so what moved you to write that song kind of question, is how does this sausage get made? You've got a beautiful, complete tune, but it started in pieces with snatches and phrases. Can you tell us how a group builds a great composition like that?
Wow. We started with the song, and we kind of just all put the arrangement together, you know, in rehearsal, and I guess it just kind of fell together, you know. I mean, I just wrote the words and the chord changes, and the rest of the guys kind of filled in the colors, you know.
All right, and they lay in those colors, and you say, yeah, that's working, or no, that's not working.
Yeah, as the producer of the record, right, you do it that way. One guy has to decide those things. And,
Right.
And so it's basically what best case scenario is you turn the guys loose and they do their thing, and it turns out great.
Right. Now, I understand that after he got out of prison, Skeets took up the trumpet too. Is he just as good on that as he is on sax?
Well, yeah, he actually he had a violin case, but I don't think it had a musical instrument in it.
I watched those old movies, man.
It's great having you guys here. We really appreciate it. Can you tell us a little bit about where we could see you live and where you are online?
We have a Facebook page, RC and the Nightshades. You can just key that in on your Facebook. And we also, let's see, we're appearing at the Backstretch in Lexington on March the 28th. And we're going to be releasing a new album, and we're going to call it High Street, I think. We had been toying around with another name, but High Street sounds like the best plan.
What was that other name?
Snake Bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we know it's going to be 2 syllables anyway. You've got
Right.
that.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
2 syllables.
We're looking forward to it. Can you guys stick around and do another tune for us?
Sure thing.
Fantastic. We will be right back with RC and the Nightshades. All right. Thank you.
Connecting you with employers and graduate program. Get info to launch your career now. Turning you into a professional. Focus on professional development. Start your job or internship now. Let Career Services help you separate yourself from the crowd. Develop into an expert candidate. Career Services is here to help. Build a network. Hands-on workshop. Career Services, turning you into a professional.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, John.
How are you?
I'm good.
What is that beautiful instrument you're playing?
Why, John, this is a Lee Oscar harmonica.
Do tell.
People ask me all the time what type of harmonicas I prefer. I prefer Lee Oscar. Lee Oscar harmonica is the preferred harmonica of both professional harp players and TV show hosts.
If I didn't know better, I'd swear Steve was doing a commercial for our first sponsor.
That's right. Lee Oscar harmonica is the sponsor for Art This. And one of the things with Lee Oscar, folks, if you're curious in playing harmonicas, each Lee Oscar harmonica comes with a unique quick guide to inform you to how to play harmonicas with various styles of music.
All I can say is, Art This.
Art
Thanks,
This.
Lee.
Thanks, Lee.
Welcome back to Art This. On this week's edition of Art This, we have an extra feature. Our good friend, colleague, and sometimes roving soldier, John Flavel, had a piece of featured artist luthier Gary Cotton out of the Carter County area. This piece was featured in the Herald Leader, in the Daily Independent out of Ashland. And we're going to roll it here on Art this week. This is Gary Cotton Guitars, and you can find out more at cottonguitars.com.
Biggest reason that I got into building instruments, I had one built for me that I thought was terrible. I started studying and reading, watching a lot of DVDs on building, and Valerie challenged me to get one and put it together and try it. It's like a kid with a model car. When you get one done, you want to do another. Bake the top for about an hour at 200 degrees, and we bake our bracing in the oven as well. It actually cooks the rosin or the pitch out of the guitar wood. When you're done baking it, there will be rosin all over the outside of the top, and then you sand that away. Quilted mahogany. To find quilted or figured mahogany, it's really rare. By this being our 100th guitar, we wanted to do it in something special. This guitar has been contracted now for probably 4 or 5 months. The man came to me and wanted number 100 before we ever got close. And this one has been bought some time back already. If we're allowed to do it, I hope we're doing this 20 or 30 years from now. It's something that gets in your blood.
It never gets old, huh?
Nope.
It kind of makes you wanna...
Break into song?
Yup. I love the sunset.
I love Eagle Lake.
I love the forest. I love when eagles play. I love the campus and all its sights and sounds.
Boom-de-yada, 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 boom-de-yada.
I love philosophy.
We love diversity.
I love English.
And all its weird words.
I love the music.
And all its melodies. Boom-de-yada, boom-de-yada.
Boom-de-yada, boom-de-yada.
I love fraternities.
I love sororities.
I love to draw things.
And all the athletes.
I love Moorhead.
It's such a pretty place.
Boom-de-yada, 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 boom-de-yada.
Hey, thank you. That's almost it for Art This number 5. John Flavel, great job.
Thank
on the
you,
cotton
John,
guitar
for
piece. We
featuring. Let us use that feature this week.
Steve,
so.
let's not tell people what we have for next month. We don't want them to get too excited. They won't be able to get any work done. We just want you to know Art This number 6 comes back in March, and it's a fantastic show. That's all we could tell you so far. What do you think we should do?
I think we should jam.
All right, RC and the Nightshades, let's jam our way out of here. That's it for Art This. Thank you, everybody.